The University of the Philippines Mindanao has come a long way since its establishment through the evolution of its academic programs, student body initiatives, and institutional expansion. The university has never failed to hone its students towards academic success, research development, and social change.
UP Mindanao is very unique because it was founded on a pioneering spirit. The faculty who came in during the earlier years came because they wanted to develop UP Mindanao, and in so doing, develop Mindanao. That kind of pioneering spirit, people need grit to do that. Because when they started, there were no decent classrooms. There was nothing. It was practically holding your classroom under the trees.
Before the development of infrastructures, the PCA buildings were used by the students as training huts. Classes were regularly held here, as well as in the Mintal and Bago Oshiro gyms and BPI canteen halls.
We tried to make a development plan, medium term, long term, and they had to focus on their strengths as well as weaknesses and see how these can all fall under one umbrella of making UP Mindanao meaningful.
The administration of Chancellor De Ungria brought big changes in the development of the institution, from the title of the land shaping the organizational structure to the creation of the University Council, required offices, and the academic programs. UP Mindanao is proud to celebrate the institution's achievements and noteworthy milestones in the past 26 years.
Of course, the first graduation ceremony, this is a story often told. There were very few people in attendance. The funny side is that there were cows in attendance during the graduation.
Dr. Dulce Flores pioneered the SAGO project that brought in the flagship research program titled Utilization of Sago Starch into High-Value Products through Biotechnology. That received National Award in 2008, as well as the UP Mindanao Food Museum and Pilot Sago Flour Mill and Bakery. UP Mindanao became a member of various research organizations and initiated links with nearby agencies and institutions such as the Mindanao Science and Technology Park Consortium, and led the creation of the Davao Colleges and Universities Network or DACUN.
UP President Emil Q. Javier formed the Ugnayan ng Pahinungod Oblation Corps as the institutional volunteer service program of the University of the Philippines.
Pahinungod has a wide array of programs and projects that cater to various sectors and specific needs of communities.
Through these efforts, UP Mindanao earned the respect, cooperation, and support of fellow academic institutions in Davao City. In 2008, the CHAD Zonal Research Center was established in UP Mindanao that focused on the research and development of biodiversity and biotechnology.
So that has put UP Mindanao on the map. The only edge we have over all other universities is our research. We are the best in crafting research ideas, and these ideas develop into projects that are really state-of-the-art. Our research makes all the difference.
The people who were handling all of these basic functions in the school were new. We had to do the entire task of setting up systems.
At that time, it was barely starting from scratch. No faculty, no staff, no buildings, no facilities. Everything was so tentative. In effect, I found myself in a situation where, hey, wait, this is a place where I think I can do something. The pioneering spirit that was revived in me, ultimately, I joined the university.
When we did not have much of a classroom, everyone was in Kanluran. I was doing a lecture on management. And then you have a cow pick his head on the window and go, woo. That's really different because it sort of shakes you back to reality that, hey, wait, we really have to manage well because we're not supposed to continue to just allow interruptions from cows in the classroom.
Academic excellence and community engagement are the pillars of UP Mindanao's educational programs. Beyond the four corners of the classroom, the achievements of the student body and its organizations highlight the scholars' talent and skills, truly reflecting the university's core values of honor and excellence.
UP Mindanao will excel and lend its hand to those around them so that it can be able to say that it is now the mentor of mentors. It is in us the innate human richness or resources such that our minds are there to be able to help.
I'm really happy when I hear people that yung graduate natin are also in demand. I mean, this is exactly what I was hoping for. They graduate, they find a job, and it's a good job, and people respect them, and they actually value our graduate. What am I looking for? Di ba ito na?
The university would not have achieved all of these things if it weren't for the unrelenting support of its sponsors and private partners. For many years, these individuals and organizations were instrumental to the growth and success of UP Mindanao and its students. Without them, none of these would be possible.
DOST has been giving, shall we say, sizable amount of grants to the projects of UP in Mindanao. We even approved and we are supporting a niche research center in the regions, one of the nicer centers, which is in Mindanao, devoted to the use of modeling as decision support systems in the area of disease management.
UPAA. 35 years ago, mga 1960s, nag-meet na rin sila. Gusto nila magkaroon ng UP sa Mindanao. Nilabi nila yan. Kana mga UP, MFI, gani. Kana silang mga tao, kana dugay na sila gahago for UP Mindanao. We don't see their faces actually, but they're always meeting, looking for money for the scholarship of UP MFI students. They deserve this honor. Another one is UP Los Baños. UP Los Baños always consider UP Mindanao as their anak.
Our UP in Los Baños had a very, very important and significant contribution in setting up UP in Mindanao. UP Los Baños was so generous to detail some faculty members to start many of the programs, whether it was mathematics, computer science, food technology, biology, and in the case of the other programs like urban planning, and there was also on public administration, the colleges in Diliman were very generous about this.
One of the first researchers that we had was a research on supply chain, and it was funded by an external funding agency, Australian Centre for International Agricultural Research. I really have to give a special mention to HR. They saw that we could generate good publishable researches. So that, I think, started a lot of research funds coming into UP that continues up to today.
We need to establish links with the community, with the alumni, with the parents, local government officials. Our mission then was to make available in Mindanao the brand of education of UP, which is affordable and high quality and producing manpower in critical areas of the profession so that it can have an impact in the whole of Mindanao.
That's where I find UP Mindanao playing a dominant role, leading all other institutions in that respect, and drawing all of these available resources to work collectively, not competing with everybody else, but in collaboration with them to come up with common solutions to solve all problems faced by society.
You know, when we study, it's because we want to earn a living, be able to do what we want. But we should think beyond that. We should think that we can help our community. We should be good to our people. If we don't think that way, there's no UP Mindanao.
The development of UP Mindanao is ultimately a community endeavor. With the efforts of the academic institution and the support of its partners, the vision of the university's founders has finally blossomed into reality, advancing UP Mindanao to prepare its students for community engagement and nation building.